is Allison, and I'm going to read Chapter 6 of Coraline by Neil Gaiman. Coraline was woken by the mid-morning sun on her face. For a moment, she felt literally dislocated. And then the green and pinkness of the room she was in and the rustling of a large paper butterfly told her where she had woken up. I can't wear my pajamas during the day. That means wearing the other Coraline's clothes. Is there another Coraline? No, there is just me. There is no regular clothes in the cupboard, though. There were more like dressing up clothes or costumes. Finally, she found a pair of jeans and a sweater and a pair of boots. From out of her pocket, she took her last apple and the stone with the hole in it. She put the stone back into her pocket. And it was as if her head had cleared a little, like coming out of fog. She went into the kitchen, but it was deserted. Still, she was sure that there was something in the flat. She walked down the hall. The other father was sitting at a desk, just like her father's, but he was only pretending to be working. Where's the other mother? Out, fixing the doors. There are some vermin problems. The rats, you mean? No, the rats are our friends. This is another kind. Big black fellow with his tail high. The cat, you mean? That's the one. He looked less like her true father today. There was something slightly vague about his face, like bread dough that had begun to rise. Really, it mustn't talk to you when she isn't here, but don't worry, she won't be gone often. I shall demonstrate our tender hospitality to you, such that you will never think about ever going back. So what am I to do now? Shh. If you don't ever talk to me, I'm going exploring. If you won't even talk to me, I'm going exploring. No point. There isn't anywhere but here. This is all she made. The house, the grounds, and the people in the house. She made it. And she waited. But how? Shh. She went into the drawing room, over the old door, and she pulled on it. Rats, it's locked. Fast. And the other mother has the key. She looked around the room. It was so familiar that was what made it feel so truly strange. Everything was exactly the same as she remembered. But there was something else, something she did not remember seeing before. A ball of glass on top of the mantelpiece, a snow globe with two little people in it. Coraline shook it and set the snow flying. White snow that glittered as it tumbled through the water. Then she put the snow globe back on the mantelpiece and carried on looking for her true parents, and a way out. She went out of the flat, past the flashing lights door behind which the other Mrs. Spink and Forcible performed their show forever, and she set off into the woods. Where Coraline came from, once you were through the patch of trees and saw nothing but the meadow and the old tennis court. In this place, the woods went on farther, the trees becoming cruder the farther you went. Pretty soon they seemed very approximate, like the idea of trees. She kept walking, and then the mist began. It was not damp like a normal fog or mist. It was not cold it was not warm. It felt like to Coraline like she was walking into nothing. I'm an explorer, and I need all the ways out of here I can get, so I shall keep walking. The world she was walking through was a pale nothingness, like a blank sheet of paper. It had no smell, texture, or taste. It certainly isn't mist. And what do you think you're doing here? She thought it might be some kind of lion at first from distance away from her. And then she knew what it was. I'm exploring. Bad place for exploring, nothing to find here. This is just the outside. This is part of the place she hasn't bothered to create. The one who says she's your other mother. What is she? The cat did not answer. You were wrong. There is something there. But that's the house you just left. Precisely. Maybe I just got turned around in the mist. You might have done. I certainly would not. Wrong indeed. But how can you walk away from something and still come back to it? Easy. Think of somebody walking around the world. You start out walking away from something and end up coming back to it. Small world. It's big enough for her. Spiderwebs only have to be big enough to catch flies. Did she make this place then? Made it, found it. What's the difference? Either way, she's had it a very long time. Hang on, it's not that I like rats of the best of times, but the rats in this place are all spies for her. She uses them as her eyes and hands. And with that, the cat let go of the rat. I love this bit. Want to see me do it again? No, why do you do it? You're torturing it. There are those who have suggested that the tendency of a cat to play with its prey is a merciful one. After all, it permits the occasional funny little running snack to escape from time to time. How often does your dinner get to escape? And then it picked up the rat in its mouth and carried it off to the woods behind a tree. Coraline walked back into the house. It was quiet and empty and deserted. She could see herself walking toward the mirror, looking reflected a little braver than she actually felt. There was nothing else in the mirror just her and the corridor. Coraline, my darling, I thought we could play some games together. Now you're back from your walk. Hopscotch, happy families, Monopoly. You weren't in the mirror. Mirrors are never to be trusted. Now, what game shall we play? I don't want to play with you. I want to go home and be with my real parents. I want you to let them go, to let us all go. Sharper than a serpent's tooth and a daughter's ingratitude, still, the proudest spirit can be broken with love. I have no plans to love you. You can't make me. Let's talk about it. Would you like one? No, I don't want one. Suit yourself. Yum. You're sick. Sick and evil and weird. Is that any way to talk to your mother? You aren't my mother. Now, I think you are a little overexcited, Coraline. Perhaps this afternoon we could do some watercolor painting, then dinner, and then, if you have been good, you may play with the rats before bed, and I shall read you a story and tuck you in and kiss you goodnight. No. Manners! There we are. This is for you, Coraline. This is your own good, because I love you, to teach you manners. Manners maketh man, after all. No! The mirror opened like a door, revealing the dark space behind it. You may come out when you've learned your manners, and when you are ready to be a loving daughter. She pushed Coraline into the dim space behind the mirror. Go! Then she swung the mirror door closed and left Coraline in darkness. And that is the end of chapter 6. So I hope you'll come back for chapter 7 in a little bit. Goodbye.